All right, we'd like to kind of congratulate John Breech for most of his picks last week. He picked the Dolphins to cover, which didn't happen, but defensive end Christian Wilkins had his second career touchdown celebrated with the worm. That was fun to watch. The Baltimore Ravens, well, they didn't cover either, thanks to this failed two-point conversion. But despite those moments, overall not too shabby of a week for Breech. The Week 15 record, 2-3 against the spread, 3-2 straight up, as we mentioned, those misses with the Dolphins. But you got some hits with the Saints and the Cowboys. Overall record, 37-33 against the spread, 46-23-1 straight up. We're going to try to get those numbers up, Mr. John Breech, as we welcome you to CBS Sports HQ. We're going to start with Thursday night football. San Fran currently riding a 2-game win streak in this series, with the Titans' last win at home against the Niners coming all the way in November of 2005. San Fran favored by 3.5. What's your pick here? What do you like?
Well, based on, I live in Nashville right now. Everybody's walking around mopey and sad. Even the bachelorette parties are sad right now. Because the Titans are they're just struggling. They've lost 3 of 4. Their offense it just hasn't looked good over the past few weeks. And I don't know that is going to change. And so this team has basically become, if their defense doesn't play a perfect game, they can't win. And even if their defense plays a perfect game, they still might not win. We saw defense play very well against the Steelers, but the offense turned it over 4 times on Sunday. And that is why Tennessee lost. In this game, this is a tough spot for the 49ers because they do have to fly halfway across the country on a short week to play in prime time. But I do like San Francisco here. They are just on fire. I think they're going to be able to run up and down the field on Tennessee. I hate picking against a home underdog, but I am going to take the 49ers here.
Now, John, I was in Nashville last week for a basketball game, and I might disagree with you. The bachelorette parties, to me, looked like they were having just a good time. But we'll see what happens Thursday night. Maybe happiness will come to Tennessee. Not if your pick goes there, though. So the kick at that one is at 8:20. Moving on, the Green Bay Packers enter their Christmas Day game, leading the contest to be the number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs, favored by 7 against the Browns. You like that?
The Browns have had an interesting week. If they were a Christmas movie, they would be Christmas Vacation. It has just been one disaster after another. They had all the guys hit the COVID list. And then on Monday, despite that, it looked like they still might not win. And then, boom, they lose on a last-second field goal. Now, the fact that they had this game moved to Monday, they have a short week because they have to turn around and play on Saturday, on Christmas night, against the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. And that is not where you want to be playing if you're the Cleveland Browns. You do not want to be facing Aaron Rodgers. We have seen the Browns defense just totally collapse in a few games this season. They gave up 37 to the Cardinals. They gave up 45 to the Patriots, 47 to the Chargers. I have a tough time seeing them slow down Aaron Rodgers. The Packers are 5-0-1 in their past 6 games where they were favored by a touchdown or more at home. And this is Merry Christmas on the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. I got to roll with the Packers here.
After the Browns, Green Bay will face the Vikings and the Detroit Lions to finish out the regular season. Now, we've got a pick-em between the Colts and the Cardinals. The Cardinals, 10-4, first place in the NFC West, but since their Week 12 bye, they've gone 1-2, including a loss to the Lions, which was just weird to watch. The Colts right behind the Titans in the AFC South. Who do you like here?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the Week 12 bye because for whatever reason, Cliff Kingsbury forgets how to coach after a bye. In his 3 seasons with the Cardinals, Arizona's been absolutely disastrous coming off a bye. We saw this last year. If you look at last year and this year, they have a .333 winning percentage after the bye. Their season just collapses every single year under Kingsbury after the bye. So, again, this is after the bye. And you know what? This is not a team you want to be facing, the Indianapolis Colts. Jonathan Taylor is the hottest running back in football right now. Cardinals aren't great at stopping the run. And one thing we do know about the Indianapolis Colts, if Jonathan Taylor crosses the 100-yard mark, the Colts win. They're 8-0 this season when he rushes for 100 more, 0-6 when he doesn't. I think we see Jonathan Taylor hit the 100-yard mark on Christmas night. I think the Colts win this game outright to cover, to pick them, to win.
We're going to move past Christmas, but I just got to point out we are looking quite festive in our outfits right now. All right, next up, we got the Bengals only favored by 2.5 against the Ravens. Now, you got to remember back to that Week 7 game. Cincy beat Baltimore 41-17, and the only thing that's changed is now the Ravens are dealing with some more injuries. So how do you think this one plays out?
Yeah, that first meeting was in Baltimore. Joe Burrow threw for 410 yards. The Bengals offense moved up and down the field, and that was when the Ravens defense was healthy. And so now they're going to be missing Marlon Humphrey. They could be missing a few other key starters. They're going to be taking a step back. So I don't see how the Ravens defense is going to be able to slow down the Bengals just based on the personnel they're going to be able to have on the field. So this begs the question, can the Ravens keep up if this game turns into a shootout? And I look at their quarterback situation. You have Lamar Jackson, who, if he plays, will be on a hobbled ankle. Tyler Huntley looked okay, decent against the Packers. But the Bengals are more prepared to play a mobile quarterback like Jackson or Huntley because they see him twice a year. I think the Bengals roll here, win by at least a touchdown, and cover the 2.5 points easily.
All right, last but not least, we got the Steelers going up against Kansas City, dealing with some COVID issues there. Right now, 8.5 points favored with KC. Your thoughts?
Yeah, the Chiefs are dealing with some serious COVID issues. We might not see Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. The Chiefs kicker might be out of the game. Harrison Butker is even on the COVID list. So the Steelers are really catching a break. I was afraid this point spread, it opened at 10, would drop to under a touchdown. It did not. We're at 8.5. The Steelers have a really good defense. They are good at stopping the pass, not so good at stopping the run, but that's not something the Chiefs are really built to take advantage of. So I am not sure the Steelers are going to be able to upset Kansas City, even if they are depleted by COVID. But I do think they are going to play well enough to cover the spread. They're desperate. They can't lose any more games, otherwise they'll be out of the playoff race. So I do like the Steelers here to cover.
John, thanks for your time as always. Now for more primetime picks and off-the-radar locks, you got to tune into the Early Edge podcast. It's bringing you the best bets in a quick, informative, and easy-to-digest way. You got to tune in and follow along today.